Right, all right. You've blocked your camera access. Please update your browser settings to allow. Just go to your help center.
Hey guys, how's it going? Good to see you all. Good to see you all. So yeah, I just thought we'd come on again with Dave for part 11B, which is our studio studio experience day, I should say. It's taking place on Tuesday, the 16th of August, and it's a wonderful opportunity to get up close and work with one of the greatest studio drummers to ever do it. From the UK, I mean, Dave has played with a who's who of artists, and he's someone I've listened to for um, 25, 30 years maybe now, and it's big inspiration for me. Growing up, like I said on the last podcast, we've just got 5 places left. Actually, 4 places left because somebody's just bought a ticket in the last couple of minutes just before I went live. So we've just got 4 places. It's in Red Hill at the Hive in Surrey, which is a brilliant studio. If anyone's ever been there, it started a couple of years before the pandemic. Guy Pete Cranham started the studio, and it's doing great things. It's based near Gatwick Airport, so it's easy for bands coming through a touring. They can rehearse there and all that kind of thing. And they've got a great studio there as well now. So Pete's very kindly hosting this Drum Hangs event for us on the 16th of August. And yeah, I think it's going to be a fantastic day. Like I say, just 4 places left now. And yeah, you should book now, because the thing is, we've got 2 tracks that Dave has specially selected, and just for the day. And I've actually got the tracks now. Dave's friend or engineer has sent me 2 of the tracks, so you'll need time probably to learn the tunes before you want to go into the studio and actually try to do a take on these things, because I mean, I think people tell me that it's hang on, Dave's here. Hang on, just message Dave. Dave's just having a few connection issues, but he'll let me know how he's getting on as we progress. But he is tuned in from Boston, but yeah, we may see him in a minute. It's just he may restart his computer and rejoin us, but that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, the studio started before the pandemic, and they've got the live room there, and got the recording studio now there. So it's a great facility. And if you haven't been there, I'd recommend it. So if you're looking to rehearse around, want to get out of London, go to the Hive and book a rehearsal there. So yeah, it's going to be a fantastic day. And like I say, the tunes, I've got the 2 tunes now. So if you want to come along, you'll need to probably rehearse the tunes. It's very rare these days, I'm told, that people will actually go into a studio. Here's the chart. I mean, I've seen it a few times, but it's rare that you'll get it. Here's the chart, go, kind of thing. So a lot of the times, I think people who go into the studio will get the music before some kind of guide to so they know what they're doing. But the beauty of this is at least you'll have the chance to really kind of decide what you're going to do on the day, maybe, and kind of hone what you're going to do in the studio, and DM will be there to give you advice. And because I mean, in the studio is a minefield for a drummer, really, I think. And I think the pressure is the ultimate key. I remember going to the studio with Neil Wilkinson, and he used to set up my drums. He'd come off a tour and he used to set up my drums. So we went to Abbey Road, and he was in the studio at Abbey Road, and we got there with my drums and we set them all up. It was fantastic. And then that was definitely one of those things where he got the music as he arrived, kind of thing. He got to hear it once, and then it was go. It was just 16 bars. But I remember I was sat in the recording booth with him, and I was sat by the floor top, But I remember that pressure of the kind of the red light being on, and I think that's something that you can't you can't really replicate that on any kind of drum lesson or anything in a practice room. You can't replicate that. And I think, you know, in the pandemic, obviously with drum hangs and various, I mean, there's a million drum podcasts out there these days, which, you know, is okay. But, you know, really, we've got to get down to playing some music, you know, and that's what we should be doing. And that's what we're trying to recreate with this. And we're trying to recreate a kind of high pressure situation where, you know, you may have an artist that you're performing for. I remember that example where I talked about going to the studio with Neil. There was they had a camera in the main control room which was streaming live from Los Angeles, and you had all the producers there, you know, the directors. There was a big room of people there checking out what was happening in the session, you know, and it was, wow, that is really high pressure. And they were kind of critiquing, and it was done in 2 takes. It was just 16 bars. So you can't replicate situations like that. It's basically impossible to replicate it in any kind of drum lesson. So I recommend, you know, coming along. Like I say, just 4 places left. And yeah, I wanted to get Dave on today and chat with us, but I think he's having some connection issues. He was here in the chat, and I think the camera's not working, so that's okay. We'll catch up with him soon. But yeah, I've got the music now, so now is the time to kind of book and get the music, so you can at least learn it and find out what you're going to play on the day. Like I say, yeah, if anyone's got any questions, you can put them in the chat, and I'll happily answer those. We haven't got any other events booked at the minute, so if anyone's got any ideas for anything like that, if any of you guys watching who kind of from the States who are coming over the tour soon, you know, hit me up, because yeah, we might be able to kind of do an event with you. So that'll be good fun. So I think Dave's just come in now. I think he's here. Here he is.
I apologize. I've just gone through a very stressful attempt to get on, and it's driven me round the twist.
Oh,
and
no.
Thanks to my wife, who is much more Han. Where's your audio out on this? Bear with me, everybody.
That's all right. That's all right. I was just saying, look, I've got the tunes now. So
right, okay.
People signing
now. I can now see and hear you, albeit limited, but thank you. Right.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I was just telling everyone.
Sorry, Russ. Sorry, everybody. My
That's
apologies.
all right. That's all right. It happens. This is it's live, you know.
It drives me round the twist, frankly, but I struggle with it. I think I'm a little bit more au fait dealing in Pro Tools than I am with individual things like this. It might have been the link or something. I don't know, Russ. But anyway, yeah. I'm sorry, and we're on now. Okay.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I was just saying that because we just before we just came on, we just another place is gone, so we've only got 4 places left for the 16th of August now, which is fantastic.
Okay.
And I was just saying to the guys that we've got the tunes now from yourself. You've selected 2 tracks.
You've got those from Huck, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, you know, now's the time to kind of sign up, because you want to sort of get familiar with these songs, you know, because you're going to go and perform them in the studio in front of you. So they probably want to learn them and do a good job, you know. So
yeah.
Oh, Dave Payne. How's it going?
Dave's staying us for a few weeks. We've been having a pretty good time. He's come over from it's a very good friend of mine from Worthing, just down the road from the studio.
Yeah.
Dave's probably gonna come along as a guest
Brilliant.
of mine on the 16th. Yeah, it's been we've been having a good time. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is they've sent you obviously got those.
Yeah.
One of the things I meant to talk to you about before we started this, and I might as well mention it now, I did want to check that the engineer at the studio has received the stems.
Yes, they've got those. Yeah, that's all fine. So
just to reiterate, what everyone probably knows here is if you participate, you'll get a mix of a song minus drums. What a concept! And but with a click. And then
Yeah.
I'm keen to hear how everybody interprets. If we have time, there's 2 songs. I mean, if we don't have time, we're certainly going to get, everybody will get a chance to do 1 song, and ideally maybe the second song as well, whatever one's choices are. And then before that, we'll get into the weeds, to use a popular colloquialism, with regards to microphones and tuning and all kinds of things.
Yeah, I mean, the guy I must give a shout out to one of the guys actually who's booked, because I sent everyone the tunes who signed up last night, and he emailed me back, and he knows who he is. He's probably watching because you're his favourite drummer. He told me in the email on the return email, and he's travelling down from Glasgow to come and do the experience day, and he has dreamed about this for all his life. He says it's like a Willy Wonka golden ticket moment for him. And yeah, he's very excited about it, and yeah, I can't wait to watch.
What's his name, Russ?
His name's Owen. Owen.
Yeah. Owen. Well, I mean, bless you, man. Thank you so much. I'm flattered that you would come down. That's a hell of a journey. I presume, I guess you're not going to be driving, or I'm not quite sure how you're getting there, but it's. You've probably already sussed it's near to Gatwick, so hopefully that's going to make the whole journey a little easier. But I'm very flattered that you will be coming down that far, and I look forward to meeting you and everyone else that's on the course, and we'll have at it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you learn from these kind of high pressure situations are going to kind of develop you more than kind of going for like a drum lesson with someone, really, isn't it? I mean, you're in a situation where you're going to be doing what you actually want to be doing in real life, in a way, you know. So,
yes. Hopefully it's somewhere in between the two, Russ, because as it's not like the session that I believe I heard you describing, the one you attended with Neil, where it literally is a session. In other words, there's not some high-end producer leaning over the collective shoulders going, you know, blah, 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 blah. It'll just be you and myself dealing with the drummers. So I won't be getting the whip out or anything like that. It'll just be us discussing various aspects of as I said, everything from the obvious stuff. I think one of the things that I like about this whole thing that we're doing, Russ, is the literal aspect is obviously talking about microphones and tuning and things like that. But with something like this, we're going to be talking about interpretation. And that's arguably much more important than stick size and microphones and tuning. It's how one hears the song. And what is cool about this is that it's going to be, I will remind everyone that it is a very, very, very subjective thing. In other words, you could take any of my peers, the guys that I look up to, you know, I mean, I'm just talking about English drummers. I mean, there's so many. I mean, everybody from Jeremy Stacey to who else, who really are great players. Not only, I mean, in Jeremy's case, he's a great player all round, but really know how to listen to a song and get into a song. So my take is probably going to be different from Neil's. It's going to be different from Jeremy's, but hopefully equally valid. And I can guide our participants through it and say, that, you know, think it's such. I was talking to a friend of mine about this just the other day. So that's a really, really good idea, but why don't you think about cutting it in half and doing it half as often, or obvious stuff like, why are you hitting that cymbal at that point in the song? All those kind of the small stuff that for the outside world is Snoozeville, but you and I know that it makes a difference.
And I think the guys, because we'll have a good group of people, I think they'll be learning off each other as well, in a way, because you hear the way someone else approaches it. Oh, I like that, you know, I'm going to try that. And some of the greatest drummers, I mean, you think about Steve Gadd. I mean, he famously always credits Rick Marotta for changing his way he played. And this is the opportunity for someone else to sort of see someone and go, well, actually, that's how I need to do it. Or, it can really have a big effect on you, these sort of situations, can't it?
Very much so. I'm hoping to pick up some good licks and ideas myself.
Well, it's going to be fantastic. And I think Elliot's just commented, actually, he said most songs benefit if I'm not on them, he says, Elliot Henshaw. So yeah.
Well, that's far too modest, Elliot. But I understand the sensibility. Is the sometimes again. I mean, I maybe have in some quarters a reputation for not playing much, but if needs be, I'll try to play a lot of stuff. Sometimes songs need a lot of information. They need a lot of notes. So it's not necessarily that less is more is king. It's more a question of trying to get some deeper appreciation of the nuances of a song and finding out what that song needs. And as I said, sometimes a song needs a lot of information. It needs it needs a lot going on. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. Well, there's certain people. One thing I was going to ask you tonight, which I don't think I asked you last time we did this, in part episode 11A. This is 11B. Is I said that I think you watch other people who do things, you think, oh, that's how I want to kind of approach things. Were there people when you were growing up who you definitely were your kind of go-to people? I don't think I've really ever asked you this. That you got the chance to be around and see them do it, which had an effect on you. Was there?
Yes, some players I actually got to see up close. Other players I was maybe on a bill and got to see them.
Right.
Others I would watch. Even they watched television back then, you'd see them on television, or you'd see a clip or a film or something, and of course listening. But probably the same as you and just about everybody, you start off with a handful of players, and then it grows tremendously. I mean, one of the first. And you know this, Russ, about me, because Neil and I both felt the same. Neil Wilkinson and I both felt the same way. One of my big influences was Kenny Clare.
Yeah.
Who was one of the handful of drummers who came out of the. Not that there was obviously there was a lot, but he was one of the guys that came out of the big band swing thing and made a successful transition to the straight eighths fill. But it wasn't. It was with Kenny. It was a combination of his sound, which early on was a big influence, and his approach, where when presented with something with threes, he would put ideas and fills in blocks of four, and vice versa. And then, of course, it starts to open up, and I'm listening to everybody from Mitch to Ringo to Ginger to leave on to, I mean, in the list, and then of course on the jazz side and the rock side and everything in between, and the other thing that that getting a few years behind one helps with is that sometimes I've found over the years that if I go back and if I like when I first heard Keith Moon, I got it, but it was too much for me. It was just like too much going on. And I look back on it now, and he was the perfect player for the band.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely the perfect player. And he had a thing.
Yeah.
He had a thing. And his thing fitted with that band perfectly. And hindsight is great for teaching you and illuminating you about things that maybe you weren't convinced about. I get certain players that when we come up, we go, oh yeah, I don't like it, sounds too busy, or it sounds too simple, or why does everybody like that? And there's the obvious ones that everyone gravitates to, but there's a lot outside of that center core of players that my appreciation has grown, and as it grows, again, for all of us and for many of my peers, your one's kind of musical take on things becomes pretty broad, and that affects how you hear music and how you play music.
Yeah, and it's always a shame because when I was younger, starting out, I was really guilty of this, of sort of going, well, I don't like that, you know, and it would stick around for ages, like I wouldn't like it, years and years and years. And then, you know, 10, 15 years later, you go, oh, wow, that's hit me over the head. I love it, you know, and then you just feel this sort of sense of sort of guilt that you'd written something off or something like that. You know, it's a really weird feeling, isn't it? You know,
well, it is, but what's great is you've come around to it, and you've realized that the strength in it. You know, you realize why it works.
Yeah.
You know, like it took me a little time to get to. I mean, here's one great example. Early on, I couldn't really hear Paul Motion.
Right.
And then when I did, it had the most profound effect. And on the almost the opposite side of the spectrum, the guy who plays with Neil Young's band Crazy Horse, the original Crazy Horse drummer, whose name, forgive me, I'm blanking on, and it was so basic and just kind of, it wasn't basic in a Ringo, it's a different kind of basic. And then when I got it, the more I heard that band, if you put, you know, it was a classic case of if you put somebody better in it, things change. It's that whole thing with bands in all styles of music where they sometimes get a better player in and something changes. Something is not right. It's illuminating because what it teaches. I mean, one of the things it taught me is that it's more about these than this. It's more about looking at the larger picture as opposed to, oh, he's, you know, I'm not going to tell you where this came from, but because it wouldn't be fair to the player. But I heard somebody talk about Clavis. Who is a hero to us all, and we love it. And someone saw it. I won't say who it was, but someone saw him play and said, "Well, his hands aren't very fast, are they?"
Oh dear.
You know, and that's the kind of thing that bemuses me, and I think most reasonably mature players have grown out of. Some apparently not. Some apparently not, Russ, but let's not go down that path.
Well, it's going to, thinking about the bigger picture for these guys who come along on the 16th, it's going to give them a true representation of where they're at. You know, there's no better situation to actually record yourself and be, you know, honest with yourself and go, that's not quite right, you know, and or that's not working, or, you know, time's not there, you know. And I think this is, you know, who better to learn from than yourself in these kind of situations, you know?
I mean, thank you for that compliment, but again, and it's not false modesty. It's not so much who better. It's just I'm one of a lot of players with a lot of, for better or worse, a lot of studio experience. Yeah. So you're going to get my take on it. And as I said, if like Neil would probably come in and go, listen to something I did and go, well, yeah, but Dave, why did you do that now? I go, oh, okay. And so everyone is going to have a different take. But yes, in as much as helping our participants in this event, and not so much, I don't want anybody to be kind of nervous or afraid or, oh God, Dave, what Dave said, because the whole thing about instruction is offering some advice. You know, I'm not. We're a long way from what was that dreadful bloody film about the drum teacher?
Whiplash?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Don't worry, folks. We ain't dealing with a whiplash scenario here. Yeah, it's more going to be, yeah, that's cool. Let's try this. Let's try that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that. Yeah. I mean, so I don't want anybody to feel kind of, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We're all going to have a good time, and coffee and sandwiches will be partaken of.
Absolutely, and sticky buns and everything.
Definitely
You know,
sticky buns.
yeah. So
I'm hoping you might be able to get Neil to supply us with a special round of crunches.
Mr. Crunchy, yeah.
Crunchy.
Well, this has been great. So again, anyone who wants to come along, it's the 16th of August, and head to drumhangs.com and book a ticket, because why wouldn't you want to do this? You know, it's going to be a fantastic day. So
well, it'll be good. It's going to be enjoyable, and hopefully it's going to be helpful.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
sure it's going to be helpful.
Yeah, and like I say, we've got the tunes ready to go now. So you need to kind of have a listen to them, and work out what you're going to do, really, because it's a great opportunity to play.
What we'll probably do is get everyone. You can either chart them out.
Yeah.
You might. You know, I'm not going to make any comments on about whether you decide to chart a sketch out, or you think you might have a definitive drum part. You can write that out, or you can memorize it and just do it.
Yeah.
Then we'll get into it, and it'll be your chance to try those. And I deliberately chose kind of a couple of things that are relatively different in terms of the feel and everything.
Yeah.
But they're good songs, and they've got some good structure, and it'll be very illuminating. It'll be very interesting for me to see what people come up with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, well, I can't wait. And thanks again for doing this tonight. It's great to see you as always.
Thank you, and I apologize again. It just once in a while it's. On the,
yeah, I blame Dave Payne.
It is probably Dave Payne's fault. Yeah, most things are. Yeah, what can I say?
He's led you astray.
He's led me astray. Yes.
Well, send him my love. Give him my love. And
I will. Hang on a sec. Come.
This is my idea.
It was his. Yeah. It was his idea. Yeah.
I got you into all this trouble.
I know. You led him astray. Yeah.
He'll do well. He's a good boy.
It's always good to have my uncle with me.
Look forward to seeing you, Russ.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be
Russ, final thing. How's the Wian?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. He's, yeah.
Everything
I'll
cool?
get him now. Hang on. Let me grab him. Hang on. He's just here.
He's got your hair, hasn't he?
He has got my hair. We go to the same barber. Here he is.
Hey,
Good, Ronnie.
there he is.
Here he is. Mwah. Love him to bits.
This is TV debut.
No,
yeah, it's his TV debut. He's got his
I
shirt
thought
up.
he'd been on before.
Well, he has done a FaceTime. He did a FaceTime with Vinny Colaiuta, and he had a little drum lesson with Vinny. So he's doing all right.
Can you get me one of those?
Yeah.
What, one of those kids?
No.
He doesn't know how that works. See you, Russ.
Nice one. All right. Well, yeah, I'll see you. Well, 4 weeks. 4 weeks now. So,
It is. Yeah. 4 weeks.
All right.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Ronnie's not going to be there. He's not ready yet. So, yeah.
Okay, and then you and I will liaise about the finer points. Maybe next week. I'll give you a call and we'll catch up. But I'm pleased we have some attendees, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. And again, Owen, thank you. I'm knocked out. You're coming down from Glasgow. That's fantastic.
Yeah, what a lovely thing. Yeah, so, yeah, great. All right, bye. Bye. All right, I'll see you soon.
Okay, absolutely. Take care.
Yeah,
I'll let you sign off on this.
Yeah, perfect. All right, see you, Dave. Bye.
You got it. Thanks, Russ. Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Look forward to seeing you. Take care.
There we go. Always great to see Dave Mattacks here with Ronnie. Ronnie, say hello. My dog's down here as well, but I've got to go. So we've got to go and eat some dinner. And yeah, head to drumhangs.com and sign up. Just 4 places left. And yeah, we have a lot of fun on the studio experience day. So I'll see you soon. All right.